Presented by 7-Up. If you want 100% natural lemon and lime flavors, the only way to go is up. And in part by Staples. That was easy.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Bilo Center in Greenville, South Carolina. Championship week. Presented by 7-Up. It's the SEC Women's Championship game. I'm Mark Jones, along with Hall of Famer Ann Myers. And Tennessee hasn't won a championship title here since 2000. Vandy winning it last year, and LSU the year before that.
And this is only the second time for them in the SEC championship game in 5 years. In 2003, they lost to LSU 78-62. But for LSU, you know, even though Simone Augustus has 21, she's got to come up with the big-time plays. Tamika Johnson is doing it, and fouls has got to be a factor for LSU. For Tennessee, they've got to continue to keep the defensive intensity up, hit the offensive glass, and continue to get inside against LSU.
LSU has the ability to take their defense to another plateau. Last night against Georgia, they left the Lady Bulldogs without a field goal in the last 5+ minutes. Fluker missed an easy one.
Very easy, because really, Fowles doesn't have to go for that steal. Just play behind Fluker.
Augustus, a very efficient 8 for 12 from the field. 21 points in the game. Not forcing the issue yet. Here she is with the ball. And she draws the foul on the baseline.
What happens too, Mark, and even though as much as Pat Summitt said coming into the game, let's face guard Simone Augustus. Well, you can do that for a certain amount of time, but when you don't practice it, practice in and practice out against a player, it's tough to continue it for 40 minutes. So you saw that they didn't pick her up face guarding on that because you have a lapse.
And she started slow, 0 for 3, but has picked it up since. And you speak of different defenses. What about the different defense that Georgia played against LSU last night? Another defense that you don't see every day.
It was a triangle and two, but Andy Landry said, I don't know what I was doing. I got to go back to church and tell the Lord to, you know, do something because
renew his faith in one-on-one.
Because they are a man-on-man team. And they do play a 2-3 zone, but they went into this triangle. But the triangle was down low, not high. And that's where Williams got her 16 points.
Augustus, meanwhile, missing a pair of foul shots.
You know, 87-88% free throw shooter, and that's key because 5 of 5 in the first half. Free throws always going to come down crunch time.
One buckle out top, hands it off to Eli. Redding has hit a couple of jump shots.
And Redding's been a nice surprise for Tennessee.
Eli on the block with 9 on the shot clock, rejected by fouls, and Johnson comes up with a loose ball. LSU looking for the lead. Johnson missed the floater in the lane. Out of bounds in Tennessee ball. Sally Bell says back the other way. Fouls hijacked another one.
Well, she doesn't have to come right up, but she just sits there and waits for the offensive player to come to her. Love that stuff. Keeps it in play. And then Tamika Johnson showing how high she can jump.
Zolman hasn't scored since coming back into the ballgame. Austin playing tight defense on her. Eli tried to feed Anasicki, and it's out of bounds on the turnover. You know, Shira Eli went through a bit of an adjustment period this year. They had her playing the 4, but now playing the 3, now going back to the 4 position where she's a little bit more comfortable.
I think Pat Summitt wanted to expand her game to be able to put the ball on the floor and defend threes.
Oh, Augustus with a machine gun dribble, as they call it, on the blacktop, and she was fouled. 6:10 to go, tied at 56.
And because of all those injuries, Mark, it enabled that 4 spot to open up for Shira Eli, and she feels more comfortable in that position, and she has flourished.
Augustus will go back to the free throw line. That was the 4th foul on Anasicki. Augustus missed a pair of foul shots on her last trip. Knocks down this one. 6'1" junior out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, the SEC Player of the Year. She's the first Conference Player of the Year, believe it or not, in school history.
There's a lot of talk about her getting Player of the Year, and it is been up for grabs, as really not only the #1 seed and #2 seeds are up for grabs, but as far as what teams really are going to be in the Final Four themselves.
Well, she had 25 against Tennessee in the first game between these two teams. She's got 23 with the meter running still. Just under 6 minutes to go. Eli posting up, making herself big underneath.
What a steal!
Austin, great defense on the pinch. Augustus wide open. Austin missed the putback. Tipped up, Augustus got it. Bodies to the floor, jump ball, possession arrow in favor of the Lady Tigers.
Shalonda Austin coming up with 2 big plays on the defensive end. She gets faked out by Zolman, but comes down and just strips Zolman from that pass, and they go down. She got the offensive rebound, couldn't put it back in, though.
Willis off the inbound.
Willis gets herself in trouble. She takes that one dribble.
5.5 minutes to go. Augustus off the flare. Came up short again. That's 2 misses in a row. Willis misses again. Fouls with the rebound, and she's chopped underneath by Fluker. LSU asserting itself on the offensive glass this time, much like Tennessee did in the first half.
How about a turnaround with LSU going to the offensive glass?
And somewhere Sue Gunner is saying, I like that.
You know that she's a little cantankerous there in her hospital bed and watching it on TV and just saying, you better start playing like that.
Sylvia Fowles at the free throw line. A 58% foul shooter on the season. There's Pokey Chapman's mother.
Miss Carolyn.
Four-point lead for the Lady Tigers. LSU was the team this year that ended Tennessee's 7 consecutive years of regular season titles in the SEC. Can they one-up them and trump them once more here in the title game in the conference tournament? Zolman on the wing.
The one thing about Tennessee, they have created every rivalry in the country for years.
Funny how that works.
Louisiana Tech, Stanford, Connecticut, Georgia.
3 on the shot clock. Zolman. Out of bounds, LSU ball. Tennessee going deep into the shot clock on that possession.
We mentioned in the first half, too, Mark, how we felt that LSU was the team that doesn't panic. Tennessee right now, they don't have to panic, but they feel like they're rushing their shots right now.
Zolman just 1 of 7 after that miss. Augustus posting up. That one tipped. Is that not tipped?
Wow.
Guess not. Shot it behind the backboard.
Wow.
Tennessee basketball. Chapman with a pained expression on her countenance.
Well, Simone Augustus got to say something, too. As a player, you got to say something to the ref if it is.
Zolman trying to find it, and she does. The junior from Syracuse, Indiana, knocks it down. Just her second field goal, but it comes at a timely juncture.
And she's 1 of 4 from three-point range in this game.
Johnson. Willis. Fouled by Moore.
Well, those were 2 bad missed shots. Simone Augustus and Tamika Johnson.
Time out on the floor with 3:46 to go in the second half. Shauna Zolman, a dead-eye shooter. Zolman, just call her Z Smooth. Have a certain first-round pick in the upcoming NBA draft. And welcome back, everyone, to the Bilo Center Championship Week, presented by 7-Up. It's the SEC Women's Championship game. Tilly Willis at the free throw line for LSU. And Willis knocks down the first of a pair. A 57% foul shooter on the year. Lead is at 2 with 3:43 to go. Boy, Austin all over Zolman after Zolman made that last three-pointer.
Yeah, Austin got caught behind the pick. Tennessee did a good job getting Zolman free.
Little ball screen for Zolman that time. They fought over it. 6 on the shot clock for Hornbuckle. Fluker. Willis with the rebound. A good defensive sequence that time for LSU.
It was one of the things that LSU does defensively. They know their opponents, how they have to defend them. Obviously, I think Zolman's done a good job getting some of the LSU players up in the air, but LSU does stay on the ground very well.
On the switch off, Eli with a mismatch on Johnson.
Now, see, too much dribbling by Johnson.
She launches the jumper.
She was losing her headband. That was it.
It's on the floor right now. Eli. Fluker from the baseline. Augustus with the rebound. And Johnson reaches for her headband and feels that it's not there. She's had an equipment malfunction.
Well, none of the officials have seen it because there they go. Lisa Mattingly finally finding it.
I tell you, she's so fast she ran right out of her headband.
Didn't help her shoot.
30-second timeout called by Pat Summitt. With 877 career victories, just 2 shy of the record held by Dean Smith of North Carolina. Started coaching 31 seasons ago as a 22-year-old on the sidelines. Back then her name was Pat Head. And it's been a long and successful journey for Pat Summitt.
Played with her on the Olympic team in 1976. Sue Gunner was the assistant coach, but like she has said so many times, who would have thought that a university would have taken a chance on a 22-year-old to come and coach? It certainly wouldn't happen today. You've got to have a lot more experience, and she has been tremendous in the game. 6 national championships, second only to John Wooden at UCLA.
Maybe as responsible as anybody, or more so, for building the women's game. She is not afraid of playing anybody. She'll give people a chance to get onto that main stage. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Nice feed inside by Johnson. Fouls battling underneath. Got the putback. A picture of persistence. Sylvia fouls. Under 2 minutes to go. The Laney Tigers leading by 4. I'm Mark Jones along with Ann Myers. This is the SEC Tournament Championship game. Shira Eli with the pull-up. Knocked it down.
Eli was pretty quiet. Her first basket in a long time.
He's got 23 in the game. Eli guarding Johnson. Augustus on the move. Johnson lets it fly. And Tamika Johnson with another big basket. 13 points, 12 assists. Her leadership priceless.
Her 4th double-double this year. She's got 12 assists with those 13 points, as you just said, Mark. And she really makes a difference because you can't lay off her all the time because she can shoot the ball.
Zolman looking for the opening. And she knocks down a 3 and strikes a pose.
Well, she just doesn't rush things, does she? She just looks so smooth on her shot. This is what happened with Vanderbilt last night with Tennessee. It was back-to-back threes.
Zolman bloodied and bruised. Knocks down a clutch jumper. It's a 1-point game. 45 seconds to go. The pass a little too hot. Lori Moore. It's a 3-on-0. Eli. Tennessee with the lead. And a timeout called by LSU. Lori Moore came up with the loose ball and found Shira Eli.
And before that, Tamika Johnson does the right move as far as the penetration. That's what Tennessee gave her.
Zolman has responded with a couple of 3-point shots.
Coming off the bench, there's that pump fake. And it's so hard not to go for it as a defensive player because you just want, you know she's going to knock it down. You want to distract it some way. And Tamika Johnson, after the turnover, trying to get back in a position to make a defensive play, can't do it. And Tennessee comes up with the lead basket. That graphic tells you what a competitive and compelling this game has been.
Eli with 25 points and forced to use her offhand, her weak hand, the right hand on that layup. She gives her team a 1-point lead with 31.7 seconds to go. I'm Mark Jones along with Hall of Famer Ann Myers at the Bilo Center here in Greenville, South Carolina. Tennessee looking for its first conference tournament championship since 2000. And this game every bit as competitive as last year's national semifinal, which Tennessee won on the dying seconds of the game.
And with the win tonight for the Lady Vols, that would guarantee them a #1 spot. Pat Summit feels that we deserve a #1 spot no matter what. LSU looking to get a #1 spot. The SEC probably taking 5 teams.
LSU has won 16 straight games. Let's see what they run out of this timeout. The 3-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Inside the foul. She lost the handle. Moore with the loose ball.
They got to stop it.
And they almost turned it over. A foul called on Hornbuckle as she got the ball.
And Sylvia Fowles showing the inexperience as a freshman. She doesn't catch the ball, so you miss it, okay. But you know what? Right then and there, LSU needed to foul. She was so upset with herself, showing her emotion, that she lost sight of continuing to play. So here she loses it. Now, boom, you got to make the foul. Even though she's got 3 fouls, you got to foul. Now Tennessee's able to run some time off the clock. Pokey Chapman is saying foul, foul, foul. But now 11 seconds, probably about a good 4 seconds ran off.
Hornbuckle just a 60% foul shooter from the foul line. It's a 2-point game. That was her first free throw of the contest.
Pat Summit said Alexis Hornbuckle was huge in their win against Vanderbilt last night. She has been very steady and consistent in this game.
It's a 2-point game. LSU going to go with it. 6 seconds to go. Austin on the move. For the win. Tennessee, SEC champs. Pat Summit with career victory number 878. Their first championship since 2000. And the Volunteer Nation is back.
And you got to say it's a defense. Austin has to take the last shot. They do not get it in the hands of their superstar, the SEC Player of the Year, Simone Augustus, or Tamika Johnson. Tennessee shaded Tamika Johnson so she could not touch the ball. Austin probably could have gone in a little closer.
Final score 67-65. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to